How long have you a barber for?
I've been cutting hair since I was 15. So actually, I was cutting hair when I was 11.
Damn, you started at 15? 11?
So I would try to cut hair at 11, at the age of 11.
Whose hair was you cutting at 11? Who would let an 11-year-old cut their hair?
The crazy thing is I was begging people to cut their hair, and people would let me. But it got to there's a time where I messed up. I fucked up 3-4 people in a row, like really bad, really bad.
I'm surprised that didn't discourage you. You was like,
It did.
fuck, dude.
It did. It made me quit. So at the age of 11, 12, I just stopped cutting hair and I quit. And I realized it wasn't for me because of how I felt when I would fuck people up. People are laughing at this dude's haircut and I'm the one that did it. I always wanted to cut hair, but I never took it serious. I never wanted to take it serious.
What do you reason you always wanted to cut hair?
Because the thing that was really cool with me is I wanted to be that guy that was known as I got everybody else.
Right.
So let's just say we're all going to a party Friday night. I wanted everybody I wanted to go to a party. And the priceless feeling for me would be that I could everybody in here. Damn, I'm really raw. That was a priceless feeling for me. So that's why I wanted to cut hair, because I wanted to just be that guy that got everybody fresh. I started begging my friends, let me cut their hair. They would let me. You take 2.5 hours on them, free haircuts. Let's just say I cut 3 people. Out of every 3 people, I would fuck one person up. A lot of the haircuts wouldn't look good. They would take 2 hours, and then I just ran with it. It was something that I never wanted to take serious, because at that time, cutting hair it wasn't really a lot of value in it. Like the most someone would pay for a haircut is $40.
I remember that. And that was like a style shit.
Like, hey, that bitch, like I paid 20, 30, it was 30 at top. Yeah, not for sure. So my mentality was, I don't see myself working for $40 an hour. I want to make more than that.
When did you take that?
As when I was cutting hair and as I was getting better,
Oh, so this is like past 15, like beyond.
and now I'm like 16, 17, been cutting for a couple of years. I charge $7, $10, and then slowly work my way up. So it was free haircuts, and then it was 5, and then it was 7, and then 10. I still have all the prices memorized. And then 13.
Oh, these are your prices.
Yeah, then I went to 15, and then jump up, and now I charge 70, and I don't market myself. I don't post haircuts at all, because I already have my clients.
So you're for your fucking clients, or you're walking ad.
It's just their word of mouth too. Everybody knows I cut hair, and it's something that I'm never gonna let go.
What year did you?
So, but we skipped so much.
Yeah, but well,
Track a little bit.
no, it's all good. And here's one of the questions that popped up when you were saying you started getting more comfortable, you started doing more haircuts, you started increasing your price. When did you start to feel like you got a mastery of it? You're like, oh, I'm raw at this. I'm that guy now.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I started in like 2015, 2016. So
Can I just say I'm really excited to have you on, bro? And I'm so glad that you're my first fucking guest. Like, I can't think of anybody better to have as my first guest, bro. Like, I appreciate you. Yeah, I really appreciate you.
thank you for inviting me. I want to speak my truth and tell everybody about all my experiences, because I feel like I've been through a lot. So
And they can help somebody.
for sure, anybody that's maybe looking into cutting hair or starting a clothing brand or anything that's related to that, maybe my words can help or motivate.
You're a good example, bro. You're a good example for the youth. You're a good example as a man who, you know what I'm saying, has a purpose and that wants to do shit.
Thank you.
It'll like a shape, like you said. It's shape.
Yeah, but
When that mastery go.
I would say 20. I would probably say 2020, 2021.
God, I wish I could do that. If somebody asked me something, I'd be like, 20-something. Like, I could say the year. I'm terrible in my chronological order.
Nah, I feel you, and that's probably what 6-7 years. I started to feel really confident in my work. I started to feel like I got really good. And
How old are you?
I'm 22,
Okay.
21, 22. But I still have a lot to learn. It's almost like it never ends. It's always something that I feel like I need to improve on.
Cutting hair?
Yeah, for sure. It's like so hard to just. I don't think I'm perfect, and if I want it to be perfect, I just have to study. There's certain things that I feel like I want to work on. All I have to do is just study it. I feel like I got good really fast because I was going to classes. I went to a class in Vegas. I would go to classes in San Jose, and pay.
You really invested in yourself.
I did. I invested in my craft because I wanted to be. And then also, you know what helped me too? Even though I don't advocate for this at all, I would cut hair high. I would cut hair high when I first started, like maybe 2-3 years in.
Did it ease your tension?
No, it's not that I eased my tension. It's like I started looking at the haircut like a blank canvas. And I started to visualize how I wanted the haircut to come out before it would come out. And when it was like when I got high and I did it, it felt like I was painting, like I was doing art. And then that only worked in the beginning. And then once I got comfortable with it, I started to cut hair high just on the regular. It took a toll on me. I started to feel really tired. No, that's what I would be really concerned about. I would smoke or either cartridge or smoke, run to the bathroom, brush my teeth, wash my hands, put on eye drops because I didn't want to look unprofessional. And in fact,
I think I'm most stressful.
no, for sure. And for the clients that I was really comfortable with, let's just say if I was cutting you at the time, I'll be like, bro, I'm high as fuck, bro. I can see you saying, I smoked right before you came in. But I would not do that ever again. I think I'm a lot older now, so it's really unprofessional. If I were to think of it, if I were to say, let's just say I'm getting a haircut by a friend and he just smoked before he started to cut my hair and I noticed it or he told me, I would be pissed off. I'll be pissed like, bro, what the hell are you doing? Oh, you're a grown ass man. Like, how do you expect me to take you serious if you don't take your own job as serious? Coming in high.
Yeah.
Like,
Everything has its seasons. You did it, you used it, you took what you needed from it, you evolved to what, you know what I'm saying, you evolved from it.
yeah, and I think
got something out of it.
Me even saying that is hypocritical, but I have to go through that to be able to have that perspective.
Absolutely. I don't think there's a shit wrong with that. This is fun. I didn't tell that shit about you, bro. That's so cool.
Yeah. Which one?
That you started at 11?
Yeah, at 11. That's about you, bro. Fuck people up, bro. And anybody that really has known you for a long time knows, bro. Knows who I fucked up. Knows there's certain people that I went to middle school with, and they will know. Oh yeah, bro, you would fuck me. I'm not lying about this.
My question is, like, you see them people out and you're like, oh, they like, that was that guy that fucked me up.
Nah,
Y'all still talking.
no, those are people that I even cut now. I cut now every blue moon, or everybody got their own barbers. I see them, it's all now. And it's something that I would even laugh about with them. The way I just brought it up to you, I would bring it up to them. Yeah. We're all butchering people, bruh. To the point to where, like, bro, I can't do this no more.
You know what's happening?
One time, he was in high school. He's a lot older than me, so I was like, no, that's scary, yo. I was in second grade. He was a junior. He was a junior in high school. Nah, he wasn't like that. He was a junior in high school. I cut him, and then he calls me the next day. Calls me the next day. He's like, bruh, you fucked me up bad this time. Bro, this time is bad. He said this time, you gotta come fix this. Bro, I was getting roasted all day, and then I feel just a rush of anxiety now. I feel hella bad. Because in a way, you do have control of someone's next 2 weeks. The next week, you make me feel pretty. But yeah. So if I fuck you up, like, that's on me. Yeah. But I think I charged such a premium price now that there's really no room for error, you know?
That forces you to be good.
Yeah, for sure. Let's just say sometimes I feel lazy. Like, sometimes I feel like, man, like, this is my last haircut. I just want to bust them out. Yeah. But then I think about it and I'm like, nah, like, I look at it and I'm like, I'm looking at the haircut, I'm cutting him and I'm looking at the haircut, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, this could pass. And I'm like, and I tell myself, nah. I used
to have that self-conversation.
Yeah, at $30, I used to do that. Like, cooking up, squeeze people in every 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Now I have that whole hour, and there's times where I'm like, nah, like, I can't do that. Because that's him walking out, and then that's my art walking out. So, nah, I can't do him like that.
Oh, it's funny that you were talking about this, because Mike was mentioning it to me. What would be a great question? It was like, as a barber, or let's say as somebody who's looking for a new barber, what would be like a red flag that a customer sees in a barber that they should make a U-turn right away?
That's a really good question, but it all depends on the person because we all value certain things. If, let's just say, there's people that value $30 haircuts. There's someone that doesn't want to pay $70. My question to you or to the person that's looking for red flags in a barber would be, well, what are the things that you value? You just want to be in and out. You value a good price.
Yoda care. What if somebody has a wedding to go to?
Okay, and they want to, or let's just take the example of this person wants a premium barber, top of the notch, just 60 plus, right? I would say a red flag would be the price. If this barber charges a lot less at a certain price, I don't want to say that price, but let's just say he charges a price and it comes off cheap to you, maybe you shouldn't go to that barber. Another red flag would be how clean the barber station is.
I was just going to say, bro, I went into a barber shop the other day when I moved into, not the other day, I'm terrible at doing that. My mama does that. She ain't still that at me. She's like the other day and I have it 2 years ago. When I moved to Oakland, which was like 2 years ago, I was looking for a barbershop just because it's a drive to get to you, right? But you're absolutely worth it, 100%. But I went to a place that was local, and I sat down in a chair, and I was observing the shop, and it was just something like the shop was dusty. There was cracks in the wall, like that type of shit. Like I sat down, and homeboy hit me up, and he brought down my beard, and I was like, and I thought to myself, I'm like, he's going a little low. And then I was like, hey, can I see you real quick? And he showed me. I was like, oh yeah, I want you to go that low. Bro, I swear to God, I walked up. I got up and I was like, don't even finish, bro. It's good. And then I walked out. But like in hindsight, I was thinking to myself, I was like, the barbershop's not even maintained really well. Pretty, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like a decently kept together. And that for me was like the red flag.
Yeah.
Along with him shaving my fucking beard the way he shit did. So,
I think an important thing too, red flag in a barber would be no consultation. So when you sit down, the client sits down, sometimes I'll have a 2-3 minute consultation with the client before I even start on his hair. And then something that's really important too is I'm looking at what the client's wearing. A lot of the times, let's just say the client comes in, he has a really nice outfit on, he has nice shoes.
that boy like
Shoes are really important too.
Yeah.
Okay, this is someone that might be a little more picky than a client that comes in, maybe with his work uniform, that kind of maybe wants to get in and out. He's tired after a long day at work. This person comes in.
You assess him.
I really look at his body language and his shoes, his whole outfit. But it really his aura.
Yeah. And then I think you're good at that, by the way.
No, first
You're good at picking up and reading like body language and the soul cues.
yeah, it's the little things that I look at. Even I think something that's really important is somebody's shoes. I think somebody's shoes says a lot about the person. So then I look at the person's outfit, right? The way everything. And then we just consult. The consultation is really important. So if you have a barber that's not really consulting with you and he brushes your consultation off, then I would say that's a red flag because he still doesn't even know what you want in detail.
Bruh, speaking about detail, like I noticed that you're extremely detail oriented. That's literally what I was just writing down because I wanted to go back to it. Because I feel like that translates not only into your work as a barber, but like in your work as a fashion designer. Or because you transitioned from being not only a barber, but now you have your own clothing company. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a little bit about that and what is it called?
It's called Glo Collection.
Glo Collection, I like that shit. For the longest time, I thought that your last name was Glomez.
That's hella fucking.
Yeah, tell me about it, bro. It's popping. Yeah, they love the shirts that you.
It is definitely doing good. Everybody that knows me tells me I'm very particular with my things. There's also a time where this one really hit home, and this one had me thinking. Not to cut off, but we'll come back to what you're saying. I don't want to lose this thought.
Yeah.
But there was a time that I did shrooms in Lake Tahoe with my friends, and we did shrooms. And I remember we went snowboarding, and when we got back to the car, first thing I thought was, I do not want to change out of this clothes. Like, bruh, fuck that. I was just so high that my energy did not want to go. Didn't feel like doing that. I wanted to just get in the car. And usually when you snowboard, you get to the car, you take everything off, right? You put on your sweats, you put on your comfortable clothes because you're going to drive back home. I didn't feel like doing none of that. Took all my stuff off. And then everything was, as I finally started to take all my clothes off.
But you didn't want to.
I didn't want to, but I had to.
Okay.
So then I finally started to take everything off, but I didn't care. I started to throw everything on the floor.
In the car?
No, outside.
Okay.
Like in the parking lot. Everything was just on the floor.
Okay.
My gloves, my jacket, all on the floor. I'm just stepping on it to change. And my friend comes out of the car and he says to me, Alex, damn, bro, you're a mess right now. Sober Alex would not let this happen right now. That's what he said to me. And when he said,
just because you had all your shit on the floor,
all my shit on the floor, he knows me. It's like, bro, you don't like say you tripping that your shit's on the floor. What the hell?
I feel you.
You like you're really nice. The jacket, snowboard jacket, just on the floor, like, and I didn't care. And that one really hit me. Like, damn, I guess I do, care a lot about my things. I'm very particular. I'm clean. Shower 2-3 times a day.
Saying these, yeah.
And yeah, just going back to what you were saying. No, to what you asked me.
Detail oriented.
Even
very particular.
Very particular too. There's times where I'm packing hoodies and the hoodies are going out and I see a certain line in the design, or we have a really small defect and I'm like, throw it away. Nah, send them another one. Like, this one isn't it. And then we won't send them that one because I want to be known as quality, not pushing quantity. I think it comes down to, when I think of the root of that, I wouldn't say I was bullied when I was a kid, but I would get teased on. I would get picked on. When I was a kid, 8, 9 years old, I would hang out with a group of kids that were a lot older than me, 2, 3 years older than me. And after you're 8 to 9 years old hanging out with 10, 11, 12-year-olds, that's a big age group. Oh, and I'm the baby.
Yeah.
I would come in Skechers. I would wear Skechers that my mom bought me.
Oh no.
And they would say something like, oh, they'll make fun of my Skechers. The next, I'll go straight home. Mom, I don't want these Skechers no more. Oh, you guess they do this to me. I'm on Nikes, this and that. I'll pull up in a fire truck shirt. Oh, yeah. They would pick on me. That my shirt for the whole time. I would go home, and now I started to think about the clothes that I'm wearing because I don't want to get made fun of for it. Thinking of I'm now looking at the shoes that I'm wearing, and the shoes have to be clean. They have to be like, because of how I get picked on when I was a kid. So then I think my brain, I just ran with that.
Yeah.
And then I took it to the extreme to where that's part of my personality now.
Ain't it crazy how like these traumas that we feel like when we're young, like that age, carry on into who we are today, for sure. And it works for you. Look at your business; it's popping. People love it. It's definitely quality shit. It's definitely not quantity.
Yeah.
Which I love.
And with my brand, it's crazy how it started too. So they're graphic tees and hoodies. That's what I do. I do graphic tees and hoodies. I started seeing people wearing graphic tees. I would see your shirt. Let's say you had a Jordan shirt on. I was like, damn, I see this coming in style. So I want to keep up with the style. So I would go on Instagram and I would buy them. And I would buy them from people like me. And the shirts would come in. The shirts would come in.
Would you study it? Would you study that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the shirt would come in and I would just wear it. I love the shirts. And then people started asking me. Everyone started asking me, hey, where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get that shirt? And I would send everybody to specific people. And then what went through my mind is I'm like, man, I'm tired. I keep sending these people. I keep recommending all these people.
All these customers.
And I'm like, I could do this shit.
Yeah. Got me funneling to myself.
I'm like, I could do this. And then that's the reason why I started to do it. And I wanted to sell my shirts, but I didn't care if I made money or not. What I wanted to do was I wanted people to just wear my clothes. I didn't care. I remember when I first started, it wasn't, I want to make money. It was, I don't care if I break even. As long as I don't lose money, as long as I break even, this just seems fun to me. It seems dope. So I just ran with it. And then, almost 2 years later, it's my mainstream income now.
Bro, I knew you when you weren't doing it.
Yeah.
Literally. I got to see it grow.
Yeah, from nothing.
Nothing to like where you're at right now, bro. And I see you with a new truck, you know what I'm saying? Going to a dope ass gym. Nothing cheap, you know what I'm saying? Just like we talk about, it's not quantity, it's like quality shit for you, Alex. And I honestly admired that about you. And I think that's why I gravitate towards you so much. Yeah, hell yeah, absolutely. I gotta ask, I'm hella curious, bro. How much do you make in a month, bro? Has there been a month that's just been like astronomical for you?
Yeah, I have had good months, but I think as an entrepreneur, there's months that I average, and I probably have a slower month, and I had a really good month, a couple really good months, but the most I made in 1 month was 40,000.
48?
Yeah. And that's through cutting hair and my clothing brand combined. So that was the most.
In a month you made 40K?
Yeah, I made 40K. Wow. And it's not consistent though. It's all over the place. It's really all over the place. I'll have good drops. I'll have drops I did okay. But I try not to think of the money. I just try to keep just staying productive, and everything will just come. Everything will come. I'm trying to not force anything.
That's what you said. You weren't thinking about the money.
I wasn't.
You were thinking about the process. You were thinking about like how much fun it would be.
And it's crazy because we went to a Giants game. I went with my friends, and we saw people wearing my baseball shirts, my baseball hoodies. It was a priceless feeling for me. And even my friends would be like, hey, go say something. I don't want to be like, hey, bro, that's my shirt. Hey, right on. I rather it's a priceless feeling for me though. My friends could probably even see it in my body language that like I'm almost blushing, bro. Yeah. But no, I don't like to say anything, bro.
I would be like, if I was with you, I'd be like, hey, you got that shirt, bro, right? You know who this guy is, right?
My friend did that, and I'm like, oh, don't do that shit, bro. Because I'm like, oh, yeah, because now I have to say something when I'd rather not, because I don't want to be that guy. I love that. And at the same time, I guess I'm shy too. I'm a little shy when it comes So that situation. Who knows? Maybe I'll open up and maybe I'll be a little more outgoing when I see that.
Yeah. But I love that I'm providing that platform for you, bro. I really am, because I feel like a shitload of people already know about your shit. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it should be internationally known, and I feel like you could really blow up and just take off, bro. Like,
I know, and I'm trying to let everything flow naturally, and if that's what will come, I'm happy for it. Also, it's scary because I'm just taking it for what it is in the moment. Because let's just say tomorrow, graphic tees and hoodies just die. They're not even trending no more. Or I could always switch to I could switch to sweats, I could switch to different things. But let's just say all that dies. Like nobody does that no more. Then what? And I think people have asked me that. But I think my answer to that is I'll figure that out when I get there.
yeah.
Just because I always figure it out.
Yeah.
There's always a solution. So I'm just trying to take everything for what it is in the moment and just be grateful for the work that I have and for me having loyal customers. It's a good feeling.
Yeah. Here's a curveball for you, brother. If you had to, or have you ever had, or has it popped up in your head where like, this is a side of the market that I'd like to tap into. If you had, so you have the shirts, you have the graphic tees, you got the sweaters. Would there be something that you would like to attempt? Let's say like the creative juices are flowing and you wanted to do accessories, beanie.
I think it would be dope to do something like Supreme. You know how they have exclusive drops. They sell anything. They'll sell boxers with their logo on it. Chain. I'd be clean. They'll sell like Vaughn chairs.
That'd be clean.
That would be dope. If my logo and my brand could become so known that I could just sell anything that just has this logo on it, and you can sell it that bill charge. Yeah, you could just sell it at an upcharge just because it's that brand.
Yeah. I think your logo is clean as fuck.
Yeah.
I like that too. Here's another question for you, bro. A person that likes to you're into self-development. Fitness, reading. I know I try to suggest audiobooks to you, what you rather read. Is there a book that motivated you or gave you a new perspective on life, work ethic, business?
Yeah, there's one book. Have you heard of it? It's called The Way of the Superior Man.
Yes, so good.
That's fire. That's probably the best book I ever read. And I read that book 5-6 times.
Word.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, a very close friend of mine recommended that book to me, and his friend recommended that book to him.
Is it Lowe's?
No, it wasn't. I showed him that book, actually. Yeah, I showed him.
I think Lowe's mentioned it to me. I think that circulated amongst us.
Yeah, for sure.
Good book.
But my close friend Jamil, he recommended it to me, and then a friend recommended it to him, and then he said Nipsey Hussle recommended him that book. It was started from Nipsey to my boy, from Nipsey to a friend, to my friend, to me, and just domino effect.
Oh, I love it.
And it's a really good book. I would recommend that book to anybody. I've only recommended that book to my close friends, who I feel like are worthy enough to read that book.
Bro, yeah, I feel like it's one of those like secret manuscripts.
I know it's crazy. I probably recommended that book to 7 people, and it makes me upset. But can you believe 2 of those people have read that book out of this? Yes, and it pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie.
If there's one thing that grinds my gears is when I make a suggestion that's amazing and it's an epic suggestion and somebody else to take it, bro.
True people,
Especially when it's life changing like that.
yeah, and it just shows those are probably the people I wouldn't recommend something to again.
100%.
Yeah.
Way is securing me that's a bit. I've had a handful of books that I've really enjoyed that I've changed. Which one completely? One of them is 5 a.m. Club. Heard that one?
Nah, I've never read that.
5 a.m. Club is juicy, super enticing. The gist of it is that you wake up at 5 in the morning and you break down your first morning hour in 20-minute increments. 20 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of meditation, and 20 minutes of learning something new. And then that's supposed to propel you into just this whole new way of being. But the bottom line is you're changing your life by taking control of your morning. And that just sets you off to have the best day that you would ever imagine.
Hey, it's worked for you.
Oh my God, bro.
Do you still do it?
Yeah. Now it's funny because like at the end of that book, it'll then tell you, it warns you damn near. It's like, you're going to start this process, but you're going to supplement it. It's going to expand. It's going to get bigger. So now I don't wake up at 5. I wake up at 4. 4 is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that's a late day. Sometimes I'm up at 3:30 doing my meditations at 3:30, bro. You know what I'm saying? But like with the fitness thing, I'll wake up and I'll do my workouts in the morning. And then later on, there's a second workout that come into my schedule. So
If you have extra time.
I had extra time. It's crazy.
So how does your schedule work? Let's just say on the day that you're the most productive, like what time you wake up and what time you sleep?
I'll be at about 3:30.
And you slept at what time?
I could go to bed like at 8, 9, maybe like it's 10 and still get up like super energized.
8's a good time, bro.
Yeah.
8, you wake up at 3, so 7 hours.
Oh my God. Yeah. And I feel rested.
But what were you saying? So you wake up at 3?
So yeah, I wake up at 3:30. I do my meditation. So what I've been doing as of lately is I've been doing this practice where I wake up. It's either writing it or just doing it mentally, but I'll affirm 10 things that I'm grateful for. And then I'll send 3 people that maybe bothered me the day before. I'll send them love. And then finally, I'll take the next 5 minutes in silence and just ask for guidance. And that has really set me off to have the best days. Like I just feel like the next day is always better than the previous day. That's changed my life. There's that little tweak. And it's funny because the next day when I try to think of sending love to somebody who may have bothered me the previous day, that list gets smaller. I start to realize that I don't let people or these little frustrations that I used to have, I don't let it affect me. It's funny how like that list used to be easy to make, and now I'm like trying to put in a major effort and trying to think of somebody or a situation that bothered me the previous day. I've gotten to a point where I am unbothered, which is nice.
That's super deep, boss. That sounds like, I don't know how long you've been doing that for, but that sounds like you matured.
Man.
And just in that sense. And what did you do to feel like certain things would bother you throughout the day, and now you grew out of that, and now you're unfazed? What did you do to grow into that?
I want to say that I started meeting people where they're at. I came to a conclusion that life is subjective and everybody sees shit through a different lens. And I think I would have expectations of people. I wanted for people to react maybe in a certain way. And I just come to realize that everybody's walking through this life with a different story. And I don't need to be affected by how they may react or how they may view a certain situation. Maybe I'd view it differently, or maybe I believe that they should have responded in a way that I maybe would think is better. But I've just come to realize that I don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's much more peaceful to say, hey, that's where they're at in their journey. And I am where I am. You know what I'm saying? And that's all that matters. And it has really brought so much peace and quiet in my end.
I think that's really important to understand that to not judge why people are the way they are, and to accept that people are the way they are, and maybe not try to change them, but just accept them for who they are. And if it's something that you can't accept, maybe let them go or distance yourself from that person. But I completely agree with that. I think there are a lot of people that try to change people for who they are, or try to judge people for situations that they're going through. But if you look into it in a really deep aspect, everybody goes through things in different ways, and a lot of it could be started upon from their childhood.
Yeah.
Certain trauma, there's certain things that they went through that made them who they are. So who are we to judge certain people's characteristics because of that?
Absolutely. We don't know what path that they went through to get to them to where they're at.
Yeah.
Moment in time and space. Where do you see Glo Collection going? Is it just day by day?
Yeah, really just in the moment, just taking it all in, I think I've been in the moment these whole 2 years. That's helped you tremendously. And it's helped me so much.
About to feel fucking
Sure. Right. There was a time recently, a couple of weeks ago, I actually had a creative block, and I couldn't figure out what to do next. And it was stressing me out so much, I couldn't go to sleep. And I'm up the whole night driving myself crazy because I felt like I just had a block. And then I slept on it and I woke up, boom, figured it out. Dropped Sabrina Carpenter. But that drop was so off the dome that I couldn't figure out what to do the night before. The night before I dropped it, I was stuck. And that's also me just going day by day and figuring out everything will come. Everything will come even if that business weren't to work out, it is what it is. There's always something that I could do next.
Isn't it funny, like when you let go, the answer comes to you?
Yeah.
It's happened to me a ton of times, bro.
Just let it flow.
You gotta be okay, and let like you're saying, you always figure it out.
Yeah, you got to be in the moment for sure. And I've been in the moment with this brand for the last 2 years, and it's worked. So that's what I'm gonna keep doing. What I dislike is when people try and tell me how to do certain things with my brand. It bothers me. It bothers me.
Yeah.
People, what's a good example? I don't even want to say examples. I don't want to offend anybody.
You know what's funny that you say that? As of recently, I've been realizing that I need to take instructions better. And don't forget what you were gonna say, because I want to know. I want to know how you feel about that. But getting advice from you, getting advice from Mike, getting advice and hearing what other people's like. How hard was it to get me to put the fucking caption in the middle of that video? You told me like 3, 4 times to do it. You're like, no, more centered. I was like, bro, I don't know if I like it like that. And then I ended up loving it. That's another life lesson that I've been embodying lately, along with the meeting people where they're at. Is people can give some pretty good advice around me, and I need to accept it a little bit more graciously.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I want to hear more about.
No, I understand that. And I think what you should also think about is
Talk to me.
is it's your world.
Yeah.
What makes you unique is what makes my brand unique, or I feel like what makes me unique is, and I do ask people for advice all the time.
No, yeah.
I ask people for their criticisms, but I feel like when I need it.
Of course.
There's also times where I don't feel like I need it and I don't want it. Cause this is, I look at it like this is my brand, and in a way this is my brand, this is my world. So this is what I'm trying to put out to the world is through my lens.
Yeah.
So when someone comes and they say, maybe you should do these shirts, or why don't you do this or do that? It's like, why don't you start your own clothing brand and you do that? Because this is what I do and this is what works for me. And the way I'm putting it out is through my vision. So sometimes if you feel like maybe you're struggling with the creative side, maybe you should set it through your lens and let people see it through your world and not ask someone for their criticism. I think that's important too, because that's what makes you yourself.
Love that.
I also have someone that's starting their clothing brand, and they come up to me and they ask me, what do you think about this? My friend was telling me to move this here, or maybe take off this certain design and move it in this part of the shirt. And I'm like, bro, don't ask, like, why are you asking me? You know what you want. You had it like that for a reason. Don't listen to your friends who are telling you to move it this way, move it that way. I think the way you have it looks perfect, bro, because that is you. Because that's your world, bro. That's you. That's what you want to put out. And don't let anybody tell you to change it and feel like they're right. Because if that's what they want to do, let them do that with their clothing brand. And then I think that was good advice. That was really
Super good advice. Absolutely, bro. I feel like you're speaking to me shit too, but sometimes I will ask for too much advice.
Or yeah, let's just say I like to wear bright colors sometimes. I have my friends who tell me, hey, I don't like your outfit. And I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care, because this is my world. You know what I'm saying? I dress like this I didn't ask you. And there might be times where I might ask you because I feel like, I don't know. But there's also times if I didn't ask you, it's because I don't want your opinion. Me dressing the way I dress, me doing my hair the way is me, because I think that's what makes me unique.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. What advice, bro, do you have for somebody who wants to be a barber? I mean, to backtrack so much. But
That's good.
I think it's great, you know.
I think if you want to be a barber, you have to want to be a barber. And if you're thinking about, because at first, same thing with me when it came to barbering, I wasn't thinking about the money. I was doing it for passion and for fun, and the money just came. And then now I charge $70 an hour, $70 a haircut. So
Not even an hour.
yeah, that's like the score with 30. But I would have, my advice would be, if you're doing it for the money, it's probably not for you. And I would recommend you to take courses and for you to take classes, cut with a mannequin, cut fake hair, figure out the proper way to hold a pair of shears, scissors, figure that out, and see if it's for you. Just sometimes people don't know if they're passionate about it. So it doesn't hurt to take 6 months out of your life and maybe figure out if this is for you. 6 months, you could probably figure out if it's for you. And then just if it is for you, you do realize, I would say stick with it. And know that there's a lot of, it's so oversaturated. Like everybody's a barber. Everybody cuts hair now. So what are you going to do to make yourself be a better barber than everyone else? What's going to be the reason to why customers come to you? And it has to be through skill and professionalism. Those are your two things. If you're professional and you're just a cool guy, you might not give the best haircuts, but people really like you for your personality, and people sometimes just want to come and talk to you. That could be
Your niche? And a part of
that could be like a big up into you getting clients. But I think for you to go from a certain price to a higher premium price, over $50, $60, then I think the skill has to come. But that would be my advice.
How about somebody who feels discomfort and is trying to push through a hard time, what is your suggestion for somebody who's dealing with a difficult moment but wants to succeed in be a barber, a clothing brand, fitness? Because I know that also like you're huge on fitness, right?
I am. Yeah, I have hard times every day. I'm struggling. It's tough for me all the time. But I think what gets me going is if I know something is hard. I don't want to sound like David Goggins, but if something is hard, it makes me want to just do it even more. And I would say use people that you're motivated by, like use them as competition, if that, as a friendly competition, if that's what's gonna help you. I think that's what helps me. I have friends that are very fit. There's times that I go running with you, and it's hard to keep up with you sometimes. But what goes through my mind is, nah, I can't let him outwork me. I gotta keep going.
I love that.
And I can't let him, it's almost, I can't let him see me quit. And that's what I use as my motivation. It might sound unhealthy, but it works for me, so I run with it. Let's just say you and me are running 3 miles and we're sprinting. We're running 85%. If I feel like I need a break, I might stop for 50 yards, walk out 50 yards, and then we're straight back to it because I want to be where you are I want to run just like you, or I want to run better than you. So I have to keep up with it. I use my friends as a friendly competition, or people that I look up to. I use that as motivation.
I love that. It brings me to like the company that you keep.
What do you mean?
They say that the people that you're with, let's say like your 5 closest friends, that they're losers or the bums, you're gonna end up being 6. But like if you're around people who are striving, working for the best that they can achieve in their life, you'll be the 6th.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? That's how I feel about you, and that's what I'm saying. Like in terms of like gravitating towards you, like I love to see your company grow. I love how motivated you are, and that's why I love spending time with you, because I feel like that rubs off on me, and it pushes me to keep on wanting to challenge myself. I've said I wanted to start a podcast for years, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I finally summoned up the courage and had this like 10x mentality to take on the challenge, to take on something that's difficult. Like you were saying, like Goggins is like, if it's hard, like there's something good on the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? Do you try to make it a point to keep people around you that motivate you, that drive you?
Yeah, for sure. I do have friends that probably maybe they don't want to be where they are right now, but I don't look at them. I try not to look at them as bad people, or maybe even distance myself from them. I don't want to judge someone for where they are in their lives. But I do say I tend to be more alone than with people. I like to be by myself a lot just because I like my own peace. But I do have my group of friends that I even look up to in certain aspects and things that they're doing in their lives that I feel like, damn, I need to be where they're at. And I have friends that probably aren't in the best situations right now. But I try to keep a healthy balance with everyone.
And then you do shit, right?
In what way? What do you...
Like you're saying, like if they're in a different place in their life, right? Not gonna just be like, oh, bye, peace.
Oh, yeah, there's times friends call me for advice, and I try to do that. And I call friends for advice, too, and sometimes we'll talk on the phone 45, 50 minutes, and we'll just vent to each other back and forth, which is healthy. But I think it's important to have both. And I think it's also very important to not cut someone off just because they're not where they want to be in their lives. And like I said, just understand people for how they are. I've had friends tell me, like, my motivation is, bro, I want to be rich and financially free. I've had friends that told me, like, I don't want to be financially free. I don't care. I just want to live my life.
Yeah, pay my bills.
I just want to pay my bills.
My family.
Yeah, I have friends that have told me that.
Yeah.
And that's something that they value, and it's something that I completely respect just because it's their world. Like, who am I to tell them? Who am I to stop hanging out with that person because they don't value the same things that I do?
Don't gotta cut them off.
I don't have to cut them at love. No, they're still good people.
Yeah.
If he's a good person.
You know what? I one of the reasons why I started this podcast, I had a podcast before with a buddy called "We Are Not Your Guru," and it was basically, the concept was that we are not the people that are trying to inspire you. Really, it's the people that we have on our show. The guests are the people that inspire us. They are the guru. They are the people that we look up to, that we love to see what they're doing. And it's just like people, your next door neighbor. You know what I'm saying? We had somebody on there who started, he ended up being the videographer for one of the biggest dance companies here in the Bay Area. We met another shorty who started her own choreography business. These are friends of ours, the people that we grew up with, and like we're able to start their own business and shit like that, right? I'm so excited to start this podcast just for that, to be able to like highlight people's what they're doing with their lives. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be like I got a buddy who is now in real estate, has his own like real estate business. You know what I'm saying? It's like we don't have to look far for that inspiration. And I say that just to say that super proud of everything that you built, bro. It's an inspiration for me, an inspiration for others. I can't wait to keep on having people on here that can express what they created. Started with a job that's like a 9 to 5, but was able to evolve from that and do something that they love for a living. And I think that's where you're at, right, bro? Like,
Yeah, I like too how you're saying that, because in a way we're all like we're normal people. We're normal. We're all still being forward in life, and that might be inspiring to the more normal people.
like yeah. It's like you don't see us on TV, you know what I'm saying? Like we went to school together.
Yeah.
We could do it, you could do it.
Yep.
Type shit. Let's talk about guilty pleasures, bro. Fuck it. What's some shit that you like to indulge in? Like what takes your mind off the business? What takes your mind away from the grind? What's like a hobby of yours?
There's a lot of things that I like to do. I like to, I would say the two most important things that I do to get away are the gym, and I like to be in the snow. I like snowboarding.
That's shit. That's your shit.
Those are my two escapes. Yeah. I like to do both, and it's important to have a balance. I realize when I enjoy myself and I do like to do things that I do, it keeps me motivated year round. Where if I just don't do anything and I like it, I'm on too much straight, I'll just burn out and I'll start to hate what I do. I start to not like what I do. But me keeping a healthy balance, it keeps me motivated and it keeps me going. There is a question I really want you to ask.
Yeah.
There's
Which one is there?
which one is the one that propelled me?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What propelled you forward? What really got you going? What was that fire up under you that made you just take off?
What propelled me forward was I quit smoking. So I quit smoking.
You know, you're an inspiration for that, and for me too. I love to hear that stuff. Please go on.
I haven't smoked in years. And I'll never touch it. And keep in mind, we're talking about weed.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, it's still a beautiful flower. If you were to have a jar of weed right here, I would ask you if I could look at it, smell it. Yeah, like how you said with alcohol, I would smell the bud and even look at it, take it all in, because in a way, it's still a beautiful flower. But I realized I was a pothead. And anybody that's watching this, like, you probably wouldn't outsmoke me. You know what outsmoke me? Nobody's outsmoking me. That's why I was smoking a lot. But it started to change my personality. It changed who I was. I started to become quiet, became anxious. It completely changed my personality. I feel like I was a completely different person.
Yeah.
I started hating.
You weren't you.
I wasn't, because I was just high all the time. It was like I was numb to everything. I would overthink a lot of scenarios. There's times I hang out with my friends and I'm overthinking certain situations, certain conversations. I'm thinking, let's just say if I was high right now, I feel like I'm not in the moment. So you and me would have a conversation, and then I would go back to the car and reflect. And I'm like, why did I tell him this? Like, now he's going to think this and this. He's going to judge me. He's not going to like me. Like, maybe I should check in and make sure he's not, like, everything's cool. Hey, Seabass, blah, blah, blah. Like, just making sure everything. And you might open up your phone and be like, what? Like, dude's tripping.
Yeah. And so did it. I didn't even think about it like that.
Really, it's just me in my head. So I started to get in my head, and it kept me on cruise control. Like, I was just on autopilot, just getting by, cutting high. And it was once I stopped smoking that I realized how much benefits come from just not smoking. Yeah, there's benefits that come with smoking, for sure. But in my situation, in my body, the negative effects did not outweigh the positive effects. Yeah, I would sleep good every night. Yeah, everything felt good. I eat high, everything felt better. I feel like I had to do everything high. I had to go on a hike, I had to smoke. And yeah, I went on a hike, I had to smoke. Let's just say we're gonna eat, I have to smoke. Everything I had to do high, because at one point I even told myself I don't ever see myself being sober, because everything is just so much better high.
Yeah.
And that's a sad mentality to have. That's really sad.
When did that click? When did that
Or you're like, whoa, like this is not healthy.
When I turned 20. No, I turned like 19, and I realized how anxious I was.
It's a good age to realize that.
Yeah, how anxious I was getting. And I was getting so tough that now I couldn't sleep. Now I'm getting insomnia if I'm not smoking. I was skinny. I was probably like 120 pounds, super skinny.
You're big body now.
Yeah, I look way a little more. And I just started to realize how I felt when I didn't have weed in my system. And you know how long it took me for those effects?
To wear off.
Yeah, it took 7 months for my body to just feel clear. Like I had clarity in my mind, like no brain fog. And every month would get better. Let's just say month 1 would go by, my damn, I feel good. Month 2 would go by, wow, I thought I felt good month 1. This is even better. And then month 7, it never got better. It was just, it just stayed at where it's at. And then that's when I realized, okay, it took 7 months for me to not feel the effects of having, because you get high and you'll feel foggy for the next couple of days. And
Yeah, for sure.
and I realized I got into fitness. I got tough into fitness, and I stopped smoking. I drink on special occasions. And now I realize the way I am right now, I love my personality. I love the way I am. Even fitness changed my personality. Me being fit and me exercising every day changes my personality, but for the better. If I were to stop working out, my personality would change. It would change for the worse. I'd probably be a little more self-conscious. I'll be insecure.
What if you carry yourself with the chest up high?
I wouldn't walk up with my head high. Probably wouldn't be as friendly, more to myself. That's where I embedded the gym into my life. It's completely part of my lifestyle. It's not something that I do 1-2 days a week. It's something that's completely part of my life because it's what keeps me going. So I would say that's what literally kicked everything off, was me letting go of weed. And people ask me like, hey, would you ever smoke? Like, bro, never again. I had no type of interest in smoking weed whatsoever. For what?
Yeah.
I'll have a beer, I'll drink, special occasion. Most of the times I'll pass, but I like to just keep things chill and not do things that will set me back, my health back, my consistency. I don't want to do nothing to slow me down.
Nothing to affect your drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's amazing, bro. Very proud of you. You definitely also inspired me when it came to that. It's funny. My cousin, we went to Farouk for Christmas. He's, bro, we used to blunt. He was just a little bit. And I'm like, nah, bro. I have no urge.
Yeah.
No urge to do it at all. So that's cool, bro. I'm glad that really changed your life for the better. Did you notice that you cut out the weed, you added working out. Did you see other benefits that came from that? Did you start your company at that point? Did you?
No, well, that's when I prepared. That's when I feel like I took off with cutting hair. That's when I took cutting hair very serious, and I became very passionate about it. And that was what fulfilled me every day. That was my purpose, trying to become the best barber that I could. And that was what kept me going at that time.
Yeah.
And then being sober for a long time from weed, that's when my business just came.
And then the shirt thing was just like, I want to do this as a hobby.
Yeah, it's a hobby. Yeah, now. And then now cutting hair is just my second income.
I love that your hobby became your primary source.
Yeah. And that's why I say, if you have something that you're not passionate about, or you're struggling with trying to find a career, I would just say enjoy things that you're passionate about. Do things that you like to do for fun, and figure out a way to make money from doing the things that you already love doing for free, and then see where that takes you.
To pay for being yourself.
Yeah.
Nothing better than that shit.
I would tell him I would hit the gym 3 times in a day if I had to.
If you ever got that urge.
I would get the urge all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And there was times where I would relapse. There's times where I would just, it's been 7 months. And then I'm just, it feels good, but I'm like, why the fuck?
It feels like your tolerance is so low.
Bro, I would smoke 3 hits, stupid high. I'm like, I'm disappointed in myself. I'm like, why did I just do this? Why? Like,
I might as well order something to eat though.
let's just say it was like 7 months sober. I would relapse, probably smoke, and then I wouldn't smoke for 2 months. Hit it again, just being influenced. And then a year and a half would go by. I haven't smoked. Let's just say if I stopped smoking, just smoked for 7 months, smoked. 2 months later, probably smoked again. A year and a half later, smoked again, and then never touched it ever again from there. So there would be times where I would relapse, and I would consider that a relapse.
Oh, for sure.
But I just took time, and every time I would do it, I feel guilty.
You feel
I would get mad at myself. I would be like, cause I'm just weird now, bro. Like my personality was so cool. I was chilling, present, and now I smoked, and then now I'm fucking weird. Yeah, and now I'm all quiet, and then now I'm getting in my head about the conversation that I just had. So I'm like, man, like,
And that ain't no worth it.
not worth it, bro. So now
I know when I was smoking and I'd be on my second blunt and I still wouldn't be high. I'm like, bro, that's gotta go. Something gotta give, bro. I'd be on my second blunt, like, where did this go? Like, why am I not high as shit right now?
and then you end up smoking 3, 4.
And I'm like, nah, I'm just eating. This don't even taste good. It's like as if I were not high.
And then your friend texts you, yo, what's up? Let's go on a run. You're like, hell, that productivity's gone.
Yeah.
Gaining weight, eating, lazy.
Oh my god.
And I had people that I talked to. Oh, I don't get anxious. Okay, so you don't get anxious, but I do know you get lazy. Nobody can run away from that laziness. People might say, oh, I'm still productive. It's this and that.
I don't know how people do it, bro.
I don't think they are, bro. Or let's just say you're productive now, right? Okay, let's give you the benefit of the doubt and you're productive. You're working. You're hustling. You're getting your money. Whatever you're doing, right? You don't even know what your full potential is. Stop smoking.
That's the big thing, right?
And people justify them so much. Like, bro, I smoke and I work my job and I work 40 hours a week and blah, blah, blah. But you don't even know what you're capable of because you smoke so much. Have you ever even stopped for 9 months and just seeing what your body can do? No, you haven't.
Just to see what you get tapped into.
Just to see what you're capable of. Like, who knows? If you're working 30, 40 hours a week, okay, you're smoking weed. You don't know what can come out if you just stop.
That consumes your time.
It bothers me when people justify it. I hate when they justify it. But
I was that guy sitting in your barber chair when we was talking about it, remember?
not.
Yeah, like I could do it like maybe once a month or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that was recent too.
That's not recent, but just fucking horse.
Wow, that was a player. But
It's like the other day.
yeah, but I'm not there to argue with anybody at the end of the day. Hey, that's your life, bro. I have someone at the gym try and go back and forth to me about it, and I'm just like, hey, bro, that's you, bro. That's your life, yeah. Because that's his life. I'm not going to sit there and go back and forth with him and try to convince anybody to stop smoking. We're all grown. Everybody knows what they're like. Everybody's accountable for what they do, right?
Is there anything that you wanted to talk about that I missed?
I think I got everything.
I think of a story, dude. Love it. Hella fun.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, it's been amazing to hear like how it all came together.
I think if you're in a stuck or if you're trying to do something similar to what I did, or you want to, if you like my journey, I would just say to just be consistent and stay away from vices as much as you can, because vices are, and watch what you put into your body. All those things will affect your everyday life. That would be my advice.
Love it, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
What about you? Is there anything you want to say?
No, man, I was just saying, like, the top of my mind. I can't wait for one of these days where somebody interviews me and I just tell them the whole shebang. But that's not there and there, bro. It gets juicy. I'm just glad that I'm putting my best foot forward and doing something that I love. I feel like I'm a natural born hype man.
Yeah, you are. And I would say with your journey too, bro, just stay in the moment, bro, and let everything come, and everything will come as you want it. And then don't force nothing that you're going to be stressed about. There's going to be times you're stressed, right? With maybe, let's just say you commit all the way to the podcast, the things you're stressed about. You're going to come through barriers, and you just have to deal with those things, bro. It just comes. It's just what comes with it. And my brand, bro, I'm stressed about it all the time, bro. It's always something, bro. Always. It never ends. And I've just learned to accept it's just what comes with the territory. And if I can't handle it, maybe it's not for me, but it is.
God would have given you something you can handle. Yeah, for sure. You would stay in the pocket. Yeah. Yeah, I love this, bro. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I love this. I love what I'm doing, and I love the podcast. You know what alleviates me from a lot of the stress is that I want to venture off into doing a shitload of, dude, I got my streaming. I'm gonna be streaming my gaming, Smash Bros. I'm gonna be doing that on Friday with a buddy of mine from the East Coast. I got ideas for me and Marcelo. I'll be streaming the gaming with him. I'm just excited for all the things that come from it. I just feel like this is gonna be like my foundation to help me, my tentacles just get around a whole bunch of shit that I can accomplish.
Yeah. I'm happy for you, bro. I can't wait to see what you got.
Oh, SebiSays.
I just want you to stay consistent for sure. And people will appreciate you for you being unique and you being yourself. Just stay true to yourself, bro, and let everything come. Thank you, dog. Of course, Philly.
Sebi says we in the house, baby.